going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over an update for Season 5 on the best abilities to be using right now on offense. Yesterday, we dropped a video covering my entire team and every ability that I use, so if you guys want to check that video out, we're going to link it down below in the comment section as a pinned comment. And tomorrow, we'll be doing the same video on the defensive side for the best abilities to be using on defense. But let's go ahead and jump right on into it. We're going to be using MUT.gg. This is MUT.gg/abilities. If you guys want to check this website out, this is their ranking based off of what abilities are the best, which ones are not. I'm going to put my own spin on it and cover everything that I think you should be using. And we're going to go positional group. So we'll start at the quarterback position. There's like 4 to 5 abilities you want to use. So we got pass lead elite and set feet lead. You need to be using one of the two. Now the difference is set feet lead, you need to have your feet set in order to have this ability activated. It gives you increased throw power on bullet precision passes made when their feet are set. So it doesn't speed up the release at all, it just speeds up the football itself while it's in the air. And at this point, we've seen this ability for a very long time. There's a ton of quarterbacks that are getting it for 1 AP. You can see the discounts here. Team of the Year Josh Allen, aka Troy Aikman. You got Combine Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback Bo Jackson. So that's the best ability right now, but in the next month or so, pass lead elite's going to be the go-to. The reason I don't say it is now is because, as you can see, the best discount, the cheapest discount that we have on it is 3 AP. Also, with the amount of discounted ability, especially at 0 and 1 AP, I would not be surprised, because they did it at the end of the year last year, I would not be surprised if they actually lower the cap that's allowed on offense and defense in the coming months here as far as ability points go. Just because, again, they did it last year and abilities are only getting cheaper at this point. Soon we're going to be to a point where every player on the field can have an ability, and I don't think that's the game mode that we want. So pass lead elite's better than set feet lead, but at a 3 AP for the price right now, it's not worth it. So that's a must-have ability, either set feet lead or pass lead elite. Some optional abilities on your quarterbacks are going to be gunslinger. Now, I've tested out a couple traditional 4-release quarterbacks, and that's like Bo Jackson, for an example. Lamar Jackson's cards get that. If Andrew Luck ends up getting an upgrade anytime soon, he'll have traditional 4. So any of the traditional 4 quarterbacks, you don't need Gunslinger in my opinion. If it's anybody else, and that includes Slinger 1, Slinger 3, we're talking Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson, I would highly recommend Gunslinger. If you can get it for 0 or 1 AP, that's great, but a lot of times you're going to have to spend 2 AP on Gunslinger because the other discounted buckets in a quarterback's ability bucket slot are usually discounting Hot Route Master and set feet lead. And about Hot Route Master, this one, don't feel like you need to use it. I mean, it's a very, very good ability because it's going to give you 4 additional hot routes on anybody on your team. And because it impacts so many other players, if you can get it for 1 or 2 AP, you really don't need to touch your wide receivers, sometimes your running backs and your tight ends. But if your scheme is not dependent, if you don't find yourself using a lot of hot routes, don't feel obligated to use this ability. I use corner routes and post routes a ton because of Hot Route Master, so I'm probably never going to want to play with this again for the rest of the year. But if you have a scheme that doesn't need it and doesn't need those hot routes, please don't waste the ability. So those are the main abilities. The only other one that I would throw in here is gift wrap, but to me, unless you're paying 0 AP for it, this one's not worth it. It was great at the beginning of the year because we had so many running backs and even wide receivers and tight ends with low catch ratings. They were dropping wide open passes. You know, it'll happen from time to time at this point in the year, but it's not as frequent as it was earlier in the year. So to me, I'm going to save the 1 AP on gift wrap because if I have a drop pass once every 5 games, I'm just going to live with that. I'd rather be able to spend that 1 AP on somebody else. Abilities for running backs, we're going to start with an X Factor in Angry Run. So this one, if we see more running backs get it in the near future, and you can't really see who gets it on this list, unfortunately, but right now, you know, Combine Bo Jackson has it, aka Marshawn Lynch, aka Emmitt Smith. Any running back that gets it, I think Derrick Henry gets it on his old Zero Chill item. Any running back that gets this for 1 AP, whether it starts on and goes off, or like in the Combine, Bo Jackson's case, it's off for 9 plays and then it turns on and stays on for the rest of the game. If you have a running back with this X Factor, it usually is going to take 1 ability point and also 1 X Factor slot out of the 3 on offense. it's 100,000% worth it. I just made up a number there. It almost feels like this is a must-have ability, like you should go out there and buy one of the players that can get it. I mean, Bo Jackson's like 450k, Emmitt Smith's about 300k, and you might see those cards get a little bit less expensive when we get the Easter promo, the Sugar Rush promo this week. So Angry Runs is pretty much a must. After that, it's really up to you. I personally like Evasive a lot this year, but I only get it if it's 0 AP at this point. Ball carriers with this ability are going to give you steerable juke and spin animations. Basically, the baby juke is already OP enough, and with Evasive on there, when that lights up, it's even better. And again, we just talked about Bo Jackson. He gets it for 0 AP, so he gets Evasive plus Angry Runs, the two best running back abilities in my opinion, all for a total of 1 AP, easily best running back in the game. Outside of that, I think it's all personal preference for running backs. Like, you can go with Jukebox, but Jukebox is like a great value version of Evasive, but if you can't get Evasive for 0 and you can get Jukebox for 0 AP, it's definitely going to be worth it. Running back Apprentice is great if you don't have a Hot Route Master quarterback, and maybe there's a running back out there that gets it for 0 AP. There's only Beast Mode right now, and then Alec Ingold, who's actually a fullback. But whether it's from Running Back Apprentice or Hot Route Master, having that Texas route and the table route specifically out of the backfield from your running back, great way to kind of mix up your passing concepts, great ways to beat man coverage and beat people's users. So, you know, other than that, I don't really see any recommendations that I want to hand out as far as abilities go on on running backs. Now, when it comes to wide receivers, I almost feel the same way. It seems like to me, as long as you got Hot Route Master or you go with like a slot apprentice, if you don't feel that you need Hot Route Master for your entire team, and of course outside apprentice is going to fall into that boat, though slot apprentice is way better. You talk about tight end apprentice, there's a few guys out there that get that for 0 AP. Having that corner route and that post route specifically are huge against man coverage and just kind of creating your own play. So if you're not using Hot Route Master, go for the apprentice at abilities, assuming you can get them for 0 AP, or if you can get them for 1 AP and you can fit them in your scheme, it's definitely worth it. But when I think about abilities in last year's game, like Short and Elite was really good last year. I mean, even if you read the advice on the right hand side from huddle.gg, Short and Elite is still good, but it's not nearly as good and consistent as it was in Madden 23. That's, you know, my thing on it. Between Short and Elite, Short Out Elite, and Route Tech, those were all really good abilities that we had last year, and this year they just don't seem to do anything at all. Like Short Out Elite last year was great against press man coverage for streaks on the outside. Now press man coverage this year just isn't that good in the game generally, so Short Out Elite isn't going to really do much for you there. Route Tech used to be amazing to smoke man coverage. It still lights up occasionally, but it just doesn't feel like it gives you a huge advantage by using it this year. So if we start to see players who get it for 0 AP, by all means go for it and use it. Even 1 AP isn't terrible. Like, I've tried it on the Justin Jefferson from the competitive pass. I've used it on Team of the Year AJ Brown, just to name a couple players, but overall it just doesn't seem very impactful. Deep Elite is a new ability this year that I've tried on a couple players like Team of the Year Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson again, Chris Collinsworth, the Ultimate Legend card. It definitely lights up. Receivers with this ability can catch more consistently with 20 plus yards from the line of scrimmage. It's basically deep in and deep out elite all together, kind of similar to what they did on the defensive side with the knockout ability. So it's cool if you get it for 1 AP, and with deep out elite or deep elite, it's really good on taller receivers who are going to play on the outside. Here's deep out elite, for example. You know, the new Mike Evans gets it for 1 AP. AJ Brown also gets that one. I have it on the Christian Watson right now from Weekly Wildcard. So these are all decent abilities at the wide receiver position, but like I said, I don't really find that it's necessary to have any abilities on your wide receiver if they're not giving you extra hot routes. So we'll close it out with the offensive line, which is becoming like the most important positional group to have abilities on right now, and it's going to start with Secure Protector. So Secure Protector, with this ability, you're going to reduce a rusher's chance of using a quick block shed move. This is your #1 counter to all of the Unstoppable Force and Unstoppable Force and Colossus X Factors that people are using. Does it negate it 100% of the time? Absolutely not, but it's a strong counter to it, and there's a few players that get it for 0 AP. Most importantly, Rob Havenstein over at right tackle. Very inexpensive card, 330k. He unlocks this in his first force discounted bucket, so it only requires a high elevation token, which you could have earned for free. This is almost a must-have right tackle for everybody because he gets that secure protector for 0 AP. The Jason Kelce tribute card, whether it's the 99 overall or the card that was in the training store, both of those get it, but only the 99 gets it for 0 AP. So if you can get that card, I mean, it's a 2 million coin center. I have it, but I'm also a huge Eagle fan. You can scroll through the list and see. So if you can get it on your tackles, that's highly recommended. After that, it's whatever you can afford. If you have it on your center, secure protector is pretty good at negating inside stuff as well. I would still recommend double teaming anytime you see an inside stuff on your opponent's defensive line. And on the guards, again, it's optional. I'm starting to get to a point where right now I have it on 4 of 5 of my offensive line. And if I can free up another ability point, I'm probably going to go 5 of 5 because it's just that good of an ability. And honestly, it just makes you feel more secure in the pocket. That's why it's called Secure Protector. Now, Edge Protector is not really good this year. And the main reason that I don't think it is because Edge Threat and Edge Threat Elite just don't seem to work that much. Huddle's advice says with Edge Threat becoming more popular, Edge Protector is becoming much more needed on the offensive line. So the way I would go is if you can't afford Secure Protectors, and you can afford in 1 AP or 0 AP Edge Protector, definitely go for that. But Secure Protector is going to be better at the end of the day, so try to get that ability in there. Edge Protector is like a great value version of Secure Protector, and you know, like I said, I haven't really seen a lot of edge threats out there dominating. It's all about the Unstoppable Forces and the Colossuses. Identifier is great, so you're going to have the Andrew Whitworth from the Season 5 Field Pass left tackle that you can get it for free, and he'll also get Secure Protector for 1 AP. That's going to be the go-to for a lot of people. The reason I love Identifier is for a couple different reasons. Number one, you can sometimes pick up on what people are doing on defense because they don't know how to quick adjust, and they're going to a certain player to adjust a route or a coverage, and then going back to another player to adjust that player. So you got to pick up on those tendencies. Also, it's a great opportunity to quick snap them and catch them off guard. They might be stuck on a defensive tackle or a safety that they don't want to be using, and now they're caught out of position, and it can lead to a really big play for you. And just generally knowing where your opponent's user is. Sometimes they move around so you can tell, but sometimes they don't. In RPO situations, if you're running a stretch RPO and you want to throw the RPO, if you can see that their user is on the opposite side of the field, you know you're going to have a little bit of free ability there to make that throw. So to me, Identifier is huge and almost a must-have ability at this point. There's a couple people that get it for 0, but even spending 1 AP on it is great. And Threat Detector is going to be something that a lot of you are going to want to use very soon. There's a few people that get it for 1, a couple people that get it for 2. This one basically allows you to see who's blitzing you on 3rd and 4th down. The most crucial parts in the game, you can see if you're going to be getting screamed at. If so, you can throw towards that blitz so you know there's going to be less defenders to cover people and make tackles. And an ability that's going to be better than Identifier and Threat Detector is going to be Omniscient. And I'm surprised that they don't have this in the elite tier ability section. It's actually in unrated, so I'll give them a break there. Omniscient is basically Threat Detector plus Identifier all together, and you can see there's very few players that even have it, but Quentin Nelson over there at left guard, he gets it for 2 AP, 383k. I don't think is overly expensive. I know a lot of people don't want to spend that much on a guard or an offensive lineman, but he basically gets Threat Detector plus Identifier together for 2 AP. So he's the only player on my O-line that doesn't have Secure Protector, and it's mainly because of that. Now, if we start to see some Threat Detectors for 1 AP and an Identifier for 0 AP, I'm going to go that route, but for now, look out for Omniscient in the future, because if we see anybody get it for 1 AP, you absolutely need that card. And if we start to see more people get it for 2 AP and also maybe have it in a separate bucket as a 1 AP Secure Protector, it's going to be worth it. So I think we covered everything. We covered all the positional groups, and those to me are all the best abilities right now for Season 5 to be using on offense. Let me know if there's any abilities that really work for you that I left off my list. Leave it down below in the comment section and tell me why I should be using it. Thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.